What I find really strange, and this would be considered as a part two, what I find really strange about people who are jealous, they play into the energies. Like, it's so easy for you to disassociate with a type of energy that doesn't make you look a certain type of way. These people actually play into it based on their conversation, based on the things that they're engaging with and what they talk about. If I was a jealous type of person, I would know how to make myself not look jealous, right? And so a lot of these people, they haven't learned that, even though they engage with the energies of jealousy and envy, right? And I did say act like it doesn't exist for you. However, for other people, know that it does exist. Why? Because you don't have to look for it. People will tell you if they are or if they aren't. It's the same energy when people try to trigger you. They can't trigger you if they don't know what your responses are, or when they don't understand the type of language that you go by, they wouldn't know. And so let me just give you a short story time. So at the time when I was in cosmetology school, this girl and I, we started together, and I'm thinking that, okay, we're here on the same day. You know, when you're new, you want to get a chance to get to know like the other people who are new, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, maybe she seems like she's a cool girl. And so we even started, I think, a month or two after, taking lunches together, and a lot of us would just go get food and stuff together. And so it wasn't until the moment that I received an award for the highest attendance at school, and everybody congratulate me. You know, everybody was like, oh wow, you know, you're doing such a good job or whatever. And I remember she didn't congratulate me in front of everybody. She waited until we got back into the classroom, and I was like, and I just picked up on this really, really like eerie type of energy, and I'm like, oh wow, so this is what they're talking about when they say jealousy exists. Fast forward, at the time, I took a sabbatical from school, and it's so funny because she was older than me. I was in my 20s and she was in her 30s, right? Her mid 30s at that. And so she was going around, the time that I was gone, she was going around telling some of the newer people that came into the school setting that, oh, you should stay away from me. Oh, don't deal with her. And I'm like, what? And so it's so funny because myself and the other lady amongst the group that she was talking about me to, we ended up becoming really cool, right? And so, and she was telling me, yeah, this chick was going around saying like, we shouldn't be cool with you, we shouldn't talk to you. And I just found that to be really, really strange, because we still ended up becoming cool with each other. And it's so crazy because this is the same girl that was jealous of me. She was crying on my shoulders one day because something was going on with some of her family, and I was like, oh, you know, everything's going to be okay, you know. And I, you know, gave her a hug and I encouraged her to feel better and everything like that. So I didn't understand what was going on, right? And so it was just crazy. I didn't even know that that's how she really felt. And people started to invite me out to different places and such, and I guess that made her even more upset, you know. So it was just a lot of different things that was coming back to full circle, and I'm like, oh wow, this was a point where she was jealous, this was a point where she was jealous. And it was really, really weird because she wasn't unattractive. She was a beautiful young lady. She seemed to be like really talented, and so I'm like, what is her problem? And it dawned on me that you can make other people see what you see in them. What they see inside of themselves is going to be projected onto other people. And I learned that lesson when I was in my 20s. Like, wow. So again, pathological envy doesn't start with just, oh, this girl is pretty, so she thinks she's better, I want to be prettier. No, it starts in childhood, and most likely it starts with people who have a lot of support and have the things that they need. They just want more, or they just don't want you to have said things. So I was like, oh, okay. And personally, what I feel about jealousy is really pathetic, because honestly, why don't you want other people to get attention? If anything, I would love to take a back seat to getting attention, right? Think about it, because I have Scorpio in my chart. We love privacy and we love to take a back seat when it comes to things, even though we collect data and we are investigators and such. But a lot of the time, we don't need to always be in the spotlight. Here, take the spotlight, because it's a lot of energy that you're expressing and it can become exhausting. So we like to take back seats. And so I notice when people are jealous, it's not the fact that they don't have, it's the fact that they have and they don't want others to have, right? Really strange. And another thing when it comes to jealousy, what I've learned that when people are jealous, they tend to self sabotage. No one wants to work with a person who's jealous and envious. No one wants to work with people like that. And it makes people who do have something to offer and something to give to others, they can spot when a person is jealous and envious and they will not work with you. Because as I've said before, when it comes to jealousy and envy, it's very silent and it creeps up on you because you can feel it. You're like, okay, what is that? I feel like somebody watching me. I feel like something is about to happen. And that's that energy.